Minnesota Vikings got a big-time win on Sunday versus the Houston Texans, saving their season, peeling it off the mat, as well as getting some positive momentum going. But some fans were super legit, like upset. Like they were mad that their team actually won a game in Week 4, which seems illogical. That's putting it mildly. It's like, wah, 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 tank for Trevor. This is ruining the tank odds. Yada, yada, yada. Like we're going to catch the Jets and the Giants. Please, please, please. But as we covered last week, be very careful what you wish for, because maybe you don't want this smoke. Maybe you don't want this evil Ricky Bobby of having the number 1 overall pick. Maybe you don't want that because for a number of factors. So number one, like players will never tank. Like they're always going to play their asses off. They're always going to play their hearts out, unless they have a big contract and coast a little bit, as we've seen. I don't know. But you have a young locker room, and if you get them accustomed to losing, yeah, you just don't want that. All right, so, and also, like we said, they're never going to tank. So basically what you're asking is that your favorite team not be good enough at full effort when they try their best to win, and you want them to come up short, which is a talent and coaching thing. So, it's not great. Also, it's not like high first-round picks, top 10, top 5, number 1. It's not like they're guaranteed. Right? And also, because ask the Jets, ask the Lions, ask the Bengals, ask the Jaguars, ask the Giants recently, ask the Browns if high first round picks can be bust or not. Huh? Yeah, ask them about that. Also, how the F, if that's the case, so if the real currency in the NFL is having top 10 picks, top 5 picks, high draft picks, and then how the F do the Ravens, Seahawks, Patriots, and the Chiefs just reload talent every single year, drafting in the late 20s, 30s, or even just trading out? Like, how can they succeed without first round picks? Huh? Question mark. Yeah. Now, maybe teams near the top of the draft do have more innate deficiencies and dysfunctions more than just one player can overcome. It's like that couple that's having troubles, lots of issues, and they're like, well, if we just have a baby, that will solve everything, right? Just add that into the mix. Sure. It's like 2002, David Carr, expansion, Houston Texans. Yeah, David Carr. I was confused, David and Derek. But David Carr, coming out of Fresno State, number 1 overall pick, expansion Houston Texans, gets sacked 70 times and washes out of the league. And kid had a lot of talent coming in. Now, if he had landed with, say, the Patriots, somehow the Patriots won the Super Bowl, and then somehow, some way, they end up with the number 1 overall pick, David Carr. Maybe Tom Brady gets abducted, or they trade him to San Francisco, or whatever. Do you think for a second that David Carr working with Belichick, working with Charlie Weiss, working with Josh McDaniels, don't you think that does it work out a little bit better than Houston and Dom Capers? Great. Cool. Whatever. Trevor Lawrence can be the best quarterback prospect in a decade, but if you put him behind a bad offensive line with no weapons, or maybe you put him behind a bad offensive line and a head coach who wishes that football was back in 1930s, maybe it's a bad idea. Maybe it's a little bit dysfunctional there. And also the crushing weight of all those expectations coming on as a number 1 overall pick versus, Lamar Jackson coming into the Ravens as a number 32 overall pick and sitting behind Flacco for a year. Don't you think it's a little bit different? Huh? The savior as opposed to, oh, hey, that guy that they tried to convert to a running back before the draft. And then they realized that, oh, he's really good too. Yeah, whatever. And also, maybe Trevor Lawrence busts. I mean, how many times have we seen absolutely can't miss prospects just not work out? It does happen. I mean, Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck is probably the most recent can't miss prospect. So he was phenomenal at Stanford for all those years. He was by everyone for like 2-3 seasons, number 1 pick. He went number 1 in 2012. And he led to the Colts to the playoffs a couple times, a couple of nice playoff wins, but injuries. It happens, right? So does that factor into being a bust? I mean, he's out of the league. RG3 is a bust too, and he's still sticking around. He's a backup in Baltimore. He got to play on Sunday at Washington, which is just a great troll job by Harbaugh. But again, things happen. Injuries, alien abductions, bad coaching. Also, never underestimate the allure of the pipe and girls on the pole. Very important. Ancient Chinese proverb. So we did some research. Since 1999, so 21 years. And it's weird that we didn't include 1998, but only 4 times has a Super Bowl winning quarterback been the first quarterback selected in their respective drafts. Eli Manning and Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning 1998, Eli in 07 and 2011. Oh, no, sorry, 2004 draft. 11 of those years, the quarterback was a non-first round pick as well. Also, since 1999, the first quarterback selected in the draft has won the Super Bowl only once. Eli Manning, number one pick in the 2004 draft by the Chargers, traded to the Giants. In fairness, starting the data set in 99 does eliminate Peyton in 98. I get that. Also, in fairness, Alex Smith, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, Jared Goff all made the Super Bowl and lost. So, and also with Matt Ryan, so maybe we should include like 1.75 Super Bowl wins because that's about it. But yes, quarterback is the most important position in all of team sports, but you factor in adding the top quarterback, a lot of times the number one overall pick to your team that maybe has some issues when it's up before. The combined records of those first quarterbacks selected in the draft are 968 and 966 and 7, which is 501. So that is a lot of draft capital to be spent on some 8-8 baloney. It absolutely is. And also, there are only 2 seasons of first team all pros amongst those first selected quarterbacks, Matt Ryan and Cam Newton. Each had 1 apiece. So it's not a guarantee for success, for rings, for all pros, which are more important because Pro Bowls or whatever. But if I told you that you're the first quarterback selected, I mean, that's supposed to be all that's guaranteed. That's supposed to be everything with Trevor Lawrence. That's supposed to be everything with Justin Fields. It's supposed to be everything blah, blah, blah. So I do understand to a degree the tank for Trevor is a monolith for wanting a young, good quarterback and getting rid of overpaid Kirk Cousins. I agree with that premise, but I disagree in how you get there. I disagree that this team should either intentionally lose or fans should actually lose for them, root for them to lose to improve draft position. I just think that is stupid. I think a lot of people, like the average sports fan, like doesn't get into the draft, doesn't look into this, doesn't look 5 years down the line. They're not looking at the cap, even though it is a myth. They turn the game on Sunday, whether it's Fox or whether it's WCCO, and they're like, hey, go Vikings. Oh, they lost. Boo. Oh, they won. Yay. And again, that doesn't matter if they're 0-0, if they're 11-0, if they're 2-13. Do not care. Turn them on. Hope your team wins that day. That is pretty much like the nucleus of the fan. Like that is the large portion of the bell curve, right? So don't spit on people for saying, oh, how dare you celebrate your team winning because it improves the draft position. And again, maybe this, if they play this thing out and maybe this is really a 6-10 team, they end up drafting 10. Drafting at 10 seemed to work for the 2017 Chiefs when they traded up. Minor detail, right? Also, I don't want that 7-9 crap, but I'd rather be 0-16, 7-9. Okay. All right. Well, the Seahawks were 7-9 the year before they drafted Russell Wilson in the 3rd round, who was the 6th quarterback taken that year after Brandon Weeden, after Tannehill, after Osweiler, and right before Nick Foles and right before Kirk Cousins. Huh? And yeah, so don't be that wet blanket who craps on Vikings fans who are happy, that their team won a game, which is the point. You play to win the game because you think that you're smarter just trying to groove a draft spot. Nah. Also, once you have the quarterback, what's the plan? Well, obviously it's a rookie quarterback, so you're going to start out badly. So you may as well tank that year to get a left tackle. And then obviously you need some skill position players as one to replace Adam Thielen because he's getting old. So you tank again. So then you get the wide receiver. And then, well, other side of the ball, you have to focus too because it's a team game. So you got to tank one more time, get that edge rusher, replace Daniil Hunter, who's pissed off with his contract, and then he leaves too. So blah, blah, blah. And then you're back to, well, it's time to either pay the quarterback, probably that time $40 million is going to be the going rate, or draft another quarterback and then start the whole cycle again. And what have you done? You just had 4 vomit seasons for no reason. Again, you do not need to be at 1 to draft a future franchise quarterback. And we laid out the track record. Drafting the first quarterback off the board doesn't always equate success. What you do need is a commitment to draft capital at quarterback every year at minimum, every other year, right? Spielman has not done that. He's only drafted 2 non-first round quarterbacks since he got here in 2007. Remember, that was his first draft. He came in 2006, but his first draft was 2007. So he spent like a 5th round pick on John David Booty in 2008. He spent a 7th round pick on Nate Stanley. Now, and then in the subsequent years, he spent a 1st rounder on Ponder, spent his 1st rounder on Teddy. They didn't work out for different reasons, but no, that's why you invest draft capital into the quarterback position year after year after year. Again, you don't have to wait for a once-in-a-lifetime, hey, let's just lose 16 games and try and get Trevor Lawrence and maybe he won't bust. But yeah, we'll bank on that. But no, you get as many lotto tickets as possible. And then guess what? Maybe you win the Powerball. Yeah, there you go. But losing, no bueno. And stop spitting on fans who are just like, I just want my team to win a game. Isn't that what's supposed to be? Is that why we're supposed to be happy? Yeah. Besides, you're not going to catch the Jets and the Giants. They're both going 0-16 anyway, so it's a moot point. But other than that, I have no thoughts. But, all right, your thoughts. No, you don't want a tank. You don't want any of this smoke. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.